The manhawa start with our main character was working in the sewer. Wastewater our Mana specialized industrial district was pouring out. Name of the area Mars Mana Specialized Industrial District. It was an area where the largest Mon-related industry plants in Korea were concentrated. Our main character name is Kang Hyunmo. Our worries about today was a waste too. Suddenly he say a pink stone on the wall stuck with something and start to move toward the stone and thought to himself something that big would fill my daily quota. Then he tried to reach that stone but failed to do so and fall into the wastewater. Some girl shouted, Hyunmo, are you alright? By which Kang Hyunmo replied, I'm fine. The girl is college research assistant name Yumin. She say, aren't you pushing yourself too hard? Then another person say, geez yeah, why are you trying to get all the way up there? Hyunmo, my boy, you think the water here is normal water? It is contaminated with mana from crystal moss, ain't it? You, Min says yeah, if normal people like us make a single mistake here, we'd just kick the bucket right then and there. Don't push yourself, Kang. Kang Myanmar said yeah I guess. Kang Myanmar say damn it, just barely $30? What the hell am I supposed to do with this? This world is not fair. 30 years ago, alongside the appearance of dungeons, a new world appear in which everyday citizens awakened to their powers had opened up. But I have received nothing. A 0-star powerless layperson has no chances of developing any abilities. I wasn't given a single chance. Someone call Kang Hyunmu. Pleased to meet you. I am Robert Lee, a lawyer. I have come to deliver what your father had left behind for you. Kang replied, by my father? What he left behind? Lawyer replied by, first, I must say that I pray he rest peacefully. Kang replied by, excuse me, I don't have any parents. Lawyer give him a necklace, say that your father had. Kang look at the necklace and said it doesn't look like a very expensive necklace. Yumin replied that it's a return stone. Kang, return stone? Yumin reply, it's an item that hunters use to escape dungeons. I'm sure I heard that you can only use it in a dungeon. Kang, something like that for me? Yumin, I wonder. There's no reason for you to enter a dungeon anyway. Kang, sorry, that's not what I meant. Kang, it's fine, I know what you meant. You. Min, have you heard about Lee Jitai? He's been trending lately. Kang, I don't care. The bus is here. Yumin, okay. After Kang reach home. He on TV. Today the Taesung clan led by Lee Jitai had succeeded in raiding the 5-star dungeon. This is the 3rd time in the world that a 5-star dungeon has been raided, right? Lee Jitai, that correct. Regarding the success of his expedition, leader Lee Jitai has said that this was the result of all of my clan's hunters' efforts. I'm glad that especially with this raid, we've managed to show Korea's true power. Kang thought to himself, Lee Jitai, he's incredibly rich and incredibly strong. He's unbelievably popular and good-looking. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. In contrast, all I have is a worthless rock. I'm not throwing a fit or anything, but if I could just have a chance like that, I did definitely do everything I can to make use of it. But suddenly red light emerges out of the rock that Kang holds in his hand. Kang suddenly comes to an unknown place and welcome window appear in front. Kang said, Red Moon, just where am I? An other window appears and written on it, break through your limits. Your body has awakened to mana. Mana has begun to circulate inside your body. Kang give a confusing look. Mana. I have mana. An other window appears. You have accomplished the impossible, and then many others window pop up. You have entered hell difficult with the lowest level of all. You have earned the title 3S rank. Good luck. As compensation for the difficulty, in contrast with your level, the effect will increase. You have entered first place ranking in difficulty hell. You have earned the title Hell Strongest. Kang confused said, wait, what hell? One window pop up saying you are the final survivor. Kang angrily asked, what going on? Hey, is there anyone out there? Hey, he saw a shiny pink crystal, walk to it. What is this? Is it a crystal moss? He thought to himself that crystal moss I failed to nab earlier would have been worth a few $100s, but just how much would this be worth? At least a few $1,000s, no? Maybe tens of thousands? Kang shout, damn it, is this for real? I just scored a jackpot. Window appear in front of him saying status ailment poisoned. You have been paralyzed. Kang, I can't breathe. 2 more windows appear, stamina will be continuously consumed. Other, you are being attacked by enemies. Kang, enemies? What do you mean enemies? Where? There's nothing near me. 2 more windows popped up saying you have died to find dust level 1. Other window saying total survival duration 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Kang, find dust? Kong opened his eyes and says, what is this? Is this a dream? And then he tried to stand up. He saw a window. A quest has been formed. First night in hell, the quest has begun. Survive until sunrise. He is shocked by seeing this, and start running. I don't know who it is, but to whoever is making me go through this shit, I will have my revenge on you. Then a window pop up. You have died. Total time survived is 5 minutes and 22 seconds. After some more death like before at 8th death, Kong used his first plan that just pray. I'm sorry, God please Allah Buddha, but he died again. A window appear. Total time survived is 11 minutes 13 seconds. At 11 death, Kong used his second plan, get rid of M by inhaling M. This time 2 window appear. First, your resistance to poison has increased. Second, your resistance to paralysis has increased. After some time, another window pop up saying you have died. Total time survived 24 minutes and 55 seconds. At 14 death, he thought the time I survived the longest was when I was just breathing. Window pop up saying your resistance to poison has increased. He thought to himself, what were these kinds of things called again? Breathing techniques? Window appear saying that you don't just keep your breath in the chest. At the same time, he remembers something for his childhood. Someone tell him, don't just keep your breath in the chest. You keep it at a lower place. Draw your breath from somewhere way below than your lungs. Alright. That's the way. You're doing great. Amongst all the kids I have seen so far, you have by far the most potential. It would be worth anticipating for. Level up window appear, and the next window appear saying you have died. Total time survived 41 minutes and 21 seconds. After a while at 28 death, Kong thought that's weird, my body feels light this time. So he checked his status window. Did he level up again? But window says the poison in your body has reached a critical point. You have learned rare skill. Poison blood. You will no longer suffer damage from poison. He got confused by seeing that what just happened. Don't tell me that I gained resistance by breathing in fine dust, and that led to poison blood. He says what nonsense with a weird face. After that he looks into the surroundings and sees there are crystal mosses lying around everywhere. Thought that these crystal mosses, I wish they were all real. Just imagine selling all of that. Suddenly a window pop up saying, would you like to collect the crystal mosses? He says, yeah, sure. The next moment crystal mosses disappear and window appear saying that your inventory has been enabled. And other windows saying that you have collected 1.16 kilograms of crystal moss. Kong said, I didn't know I could do something like this. Kong shout, I can do all sorts of things now, with a smile on his face while checking status window. Then he hear a sound. What's with this sound that I have been hearing since just now? It sounds kinda familiar. And turn back and say a swarm of mosquitoes. And start running like crazy. At the time window appear saying mosquito level 3 has appeared. Kong said, I can tell by looking at it. What kind of mosquitoes go around in such numbers? Mosquitoes attract him. Window pop up saying you have died. Total time survived 6 hours 18 minutes 1 second. Window appear saying that due to poison blood skill that Kong have, you have poisoned and killed over 100 monsters at once. The power of poison blood has increased. Kong said, what is this? So you are telling me that those mosquitoes died from sucking my blood, which became poison? And status window appear saying you have contracted abnormal state disease. You will begin to steadily lose health. Kong shout, what? What kind of bullshit is that? I just come back from the dead. What kind of bullshit? Say that he fall down. New window appear saying you have learned normal skill dismantle. Kong says, what is this one now? 3 more windows appeared saying bacteria have accumulated inside your body. Your health has fallen below 10%. You have begun regenerating with your last man standing title. Kong said, it's just going off on its own. Looks likely it's having fun by itself. Dismantle skill? When did I get this? Although this is just a normal skill, it has served really well, and I got it just by breaking a chair leg. This place has mosquitoes that big. Sometimes like that could happen. I got a new skill. Should I try it out? Dismantle. This isn't this hella awesome? Kong thought to himself that if I gained the dismantle skill like that, wouldn't that mean that I could get a skill by making something? Window screen pop up saying you have learned normal skill creation. I got it. Kong, I managed to obtain 2 rare skills. I planned on doing this way later, but I can do it now. Alright then, I'll proceed to make a shelter. If you don't want to listen, fast forward the video by 30 seconds to continue with the manhwa recap. It takes 10 to 15 hours to create one video, but subscribing and liking take less than 10 to 15 seconds. Please subscribe to our channel if you're not already. It greatly helps in creating new videos. Let's continue with our Manhwa recap. Hyunmoo thought that the house he had just moved into would be fine. There is only one entrance, and the windows are not large. A long, narrow staircase behind the counter led to a space that seemed to have been used as a two-story house. The door on the third floor was locked, but it seemed difficult for anyone to get in and out. It's not perfect, but it's not bad either. Difficulty, hell was a place where there was no time to rest. Even air, insects, beasts, and monsters were non-lethal to Hyunmoo. He can fight fiercely, or he can run away constantly. But it couldn't last long. What Hyunmoo needed was a safe zone, a shelter. Hyunmoo checked the watch. At this point, I thought it might be time for the sun to rise. But the sky was still a fiery red color. It wasn't dark, but I had no idea what the alternative situation was. I couldn't even guess what was going on over that thick layer of clouds. Still, the sun rises, so there's a saying that you have to endure the night, right? Still, it's encouraging to see that I'm living longer, day by day. Then Hyunmoo found a piece of newspaper cut out and scrapped under the glass that covered the countertop. While most of the other papers were torn or faded, the text in this newspaper remained clear, perhaps because it was protected by glass. However, there was a problem with the content. Ugh, it's English. I didn't go to college, but LVE never heard of people saying they can't study. But since I had been learning English for a long time, it just felt unfamiliar. Hyunmoo tried to read only words that were somehow recognizable. Twin star, Xiaowei, atom fort, chrome, no, Lijite, is that Lijite? Hyunmoo opened his eyes wide and looked into it when he heard the name he knew. However, there were many words he did not know at all, so the words were not connected at all. Still, it was nice to see a name I knew in a world like this. It felt like I was suddenly connected to reality. Then suddenly the sound of the narrator was heard. Language understanding, general, has been acquired. In addition, Hyunmoo rubbed his eyes. Immediately after hearing the narrator's voice, an English-language newspaper that I could barely read until recently caught my eye strangely. I couldn't recognize the difficult words I had seen for the first time, but the things I had learned at school before came to mind as vividly as if I had learned it yesterday. Is the general skill really acquired automatically just by trying it? However, even if the context was understood to some extent, it was difficult to fully grasp it. It wasn't just because it was a difficult word. Unfamiliar words that I had never seen or heard for the first time were poured out. What is a star? Deputy? Blessing? Apostles and believers? Leviathan? Shepacha case? Hammer plan? These were things that Hyunmoo never knew. Eventually, he gave up reading. There were so many things he didn't know right now. Hyunmoo collected the mosquito cadavers and set to work on the next task. Hyunmoo placed mosquitoes on his hand and cast his breakup. Mosquitoes were dripping out of each part with a squeaking sound. A window like the item description appeared in front of me. Hell mosquito spit, normal. Hell mosquito wings, normal. Blood of hell mosquito, rare. Saliva and wings came out as many as mosquitoes. But blood came out about a quarter. Even so, it was surprising that the drop rate of rare items was 1/4. At the present time, rare items are those that can be traded for tens of millions of won. Is it because of the SSS class lucky title? SSS luck, rare item/skill acquisition rate increases significantly. Hyunmoo thought of the option of an SSS class lucky title once again. He said the odds are going to go up considerably. He first checked what the blood of the hell mosquito looked like. Hell mosquito's blood, rare, a toxic substance that coagulates liquids and reduces resistance of all kinds. It seemed to be a consumable item like a potion. If it is a consumable rare item, its performance was also worth looking forward to. Hyunmoo was just trying to collect the blood of a hell mosquito, and suddenly he was concerned about the shape of the ingredients. When I took the body off, it looked like something. Hyunmoo put his hand on it and gave it a try. Produce SCH. Hyunmoo's hand put together the saliva, wings, and blood of the hell mosquito in an instant. There was only one item left under his hand. Hell darts, rare, dart. Hyunmoo was no longer thrilled with the rarity or the like. His attention was drawn to an unexpected weapon called the dart. Are you holding it and throwing it? I put off the test for a while and tried to make hell darts again. Probably because only rare items can be crafted, it succeeded about once in 4 times. Still, it's like mass-producing rare items at random. Currently, rare items are expensive, exceeding 10 million. 1. In addition to being excavated in a small amount in the dungeon, many companies were pouring huge amounts of money to set up a small amount of production to just show it as a showcase. By the way, although Hyunmoo is only a consumable item, he made a rare item on the spot with only the materials. This may need to be studied a bit more. Hyunmoo decided to collect mosquito carcasses as much as possible. It was the first time that a mosquito corpse was so welcome. If you make items from cadavers, you will be able to increase your production skills. So Hyunmoo picked up mosquito corpses and collected them. Before long, hell darts piled up on the desk. And it was time to combine the last ingredients. Great success. Succeeded in making an unidentified egg, legendary. Successful in crafting a legendary item. The crafting ability is greatly increased. What? Legendary item? Hyunmoo looked absurd, and she checked to see if what she had heard was true. A few hellish darts and a white round egg lay in front of him. Even though it looks bigger than a mosquito, I wondered how it came to be by combining the corpse of an alternative mosquito. As I traced the egg, the description of the item came to mind. Unidentified egg, legendary, an egg whose contents cannot be known unless it is observed 50% chance to be alive or dead. It can be hatched by meeting certain conditions or rewarding. Looking at the description, it was something subtle for a legendary item. In reality, legendary items are all so useful and strictly managed that they are treated as national treasures. Even individuals can never own it, and only top-class hunters sometimes have it in a permanent rental form. It feels strange to get rare and legendary items so easily. Should I hold on to it? Hyunmoo hugged the egg tightly, just in case. It was warmer than it looked, but after a while, I felt like a fool. Anyway, 16 hell darts and 1 legendary item. Legendary eggs aside, it was inspiring enough to have 16 rare weapons once. Hyunmoo puts an unidentified egg into his inventory. Hyunmoo stuffed a hell dart into his inventory. Inventories that were once full of crystal moss are now full of tools for survival. The crystal moss was only a 3 kilograms piece that I kept as a souvenir. Hyunmoo took a deep breath as he looked through his inventory. Oh, I want to go home soon. I want to go eat thump. At that time, Kang Hyunmoo turned his head at the sound he heard from behind. One side of the barricade on the window fell off. Did the mosquitoes come in and out and get loose? If it's a hell mosquito, that's good enough. But in an instant, Hyunmoo's whole body began to sound warnings. Hyunmoo's rigid body reflexively rolled his body to escape under the desk. Then a small, slender green finger crawled through the barricade. Kwajik, duk, duk. The barricade, which had been firmly put in with Hyunmoo's production skill, was smashed and fell off at once with that slender finger. He didn't seem to care about the poisonous blood that had been applied to the barricades. Hyunmoo decided that instead of hiding like this, he should run away immediately. The shelter Hyunmoo painstakingly crafted was not a barrier in the least from this strange intruder. But before Hyunmoo could move, the owner of the green finger appeared through the window. A green-skinned existence with a red hat and a small, skinny body like a child. Yellow eyes flashed and scanned the inside of the shelter. Goblin. Hyunmoo was bewildered at the first real monster he had ever seen. Until now, he had only dealt with oversized and ferocious bugs and small beasts, and had never seen a proper monster like a goblin. All he knew about goblins was how to deal with them. Throw what you have to get attention and then run away, was it? It was not much different from the rules for dealing with wild beasts. The monster with such low intelligence was the goblin. But he looked different. The goblin met the frozen Hyunmoo's eyes. He looked at Hyunmoo and tilted his head, as if he didn't understand. The effect of the title Hell's Strongest will increase the stat compared to the level. Hyunmoo snapped his body out of the desk. When this message appeared, it meant that the other party clearly had hostility towards him. This is because the title was activated when Hyunmoo was hostile, or vice versa. The goblin looked small and weak. The thin limbs didn't seem very strong either. However, from experience so far, Hyunmoo could see that he was strong enough to be incomparable to himself. Just by looking at the barricade torn off, there must have been enough power to rip Hyunmoo's neck out in those slender arms. Red Cap Goblin, level 20, the level difference was more than just a big one, it was overwhelming. Damn it. Hyanma started running right away. The goblin looked at it as if it was fun, and then started chasing it leisurely. They could hunt right away, but they seemed to be enjoying themselves as if they were playing. Hyanma immediately ran up the stairs to the second floor. At the end of the stairs, he set up a trap just in case. Hyanma jumped over the trap, but he didn't wait for the goblin. He didn't even expect the trap he would grab the goblin's ankle. However, the appearance the goblin showed was beyond imagination. The gnome ran up the wall with ease, sprinted from the ceiling and ran into the second floor. Hyanma was fed up with the appearance of even performing a stunt. However, the goblin did not stop there and leaped once more. The goblin immediately blocked Hyanma's front. The man with a smile on his face swung his dagger round and round, scanning Hyanma up and down. He looked like he was thinking about how to cook. Now that I look closely, it's different from the vagrant goblin I've seen in the documentary. He was wearing leather clothes and shoes with gongs, and in his black left hand was a large dagger that looked unfamiliar at first glance. Hyanma suddenly noticed the purple text engraved on the goblin's black left hand. Where do you think I saw it? But I couldn't afford to think about it all. Because right now, my life is at stake. There is nowhere to escape. The goblin bounced off its feet and disappeared in an instant. Hyanma managed to twist his back and dodge his dagger. His dagger narrowly brushed past his throat. I could feel the blood oozing out. The goblin looked surprised. But Hyanma knew. He was only able to avoid it thanks to the amplification of his stats due to the tidal effect. Then the goblin spoke something incomprehensible to her. Goblin-talking goblins were known to have no language system other than yelling and screaming. However, the goblin in front of him was trying to have a conversation with a systematic and clear pronunciation. When Hyanma couldn't answer, the goblin made a mocking expression. Seeing that expression, Hyanma secretly pulled a hell dart out of his inventory. The only chance he has is when he is careless. I don't know if she'll work against goblins, but she's better than dead doing nothing. Hyanma quickly threw 3 hell darts. For a moment, the goblin's eyes widened. Why dear? Hell darts flew away with a roar that deafened her ears. Everything happened so quickly that Hyanma couldn't even notice. Bang, quack, quajic. After 3 roars, Hyanma could only see what was happening. The 2 hell darts were cut straight and fell to the floor. The goblin's skill at slicing the flying hell dart was amazing, but because of the other, the skill was completely erased from Hyanma's mind. The last one was nailed to the wrist of a goblin lying on the floor. The goblin was growling and glaring at Hyanma, clutching his severed right wrist. Hyanma couldn't understand. Did he cut off his wrist because he had a hell dart in his hand? It was then that Hyanma realized that the hell dart stuck in the goblin's severed wrist had his own blood on it. The very poison blood that was leaking out from a slight cut on his neck. From the severed goblin's wrist, strange blisters swelled up, then burst, and a foul-smelling black pus flowed out. Something like that was running through my body. Not even an alien. Hyanma looked down at his blood-stained palms with a look of disbelief. No, this is not the time. Hyanma quickly tried to throw the hell dart again. If you hit it like this once, you can kill it if you do it right. At that moment, I felt a cool touch on my neck. It was then that Hyanma realized that the goblin had disappeared from his sight. The moment Hyanma moved, the goblin was attacking at a speed that exceeded his cognitive abilities. The goblin's laughter sounded like a sneer from behind. As he felt his hot bloody jacket wet, his eyes darkened as if the lights went out. This time, the voice came out clearly. Kyrek, are there still humans left? Kick. The moment he decided to stop playing was the moment Hyanma's life ended. It was just luck that Hyanma hit him with a hell dart from the start. Now all he could do was endure the ridicule of the goblins while he bled to death. And the goblin didn't finish it, only mocking him for dying as Hyanma expected. Everything was as expected. Health has dropped below 10%. Playback starts with the last one title privilege. Hyanma smiled involuntarily for a moment.